it up for our guitar heroes one more time. Hey, good evening and Merry Christmas. My name is Chris Rusin, and it is a great just a privilege to be here with you. We're excited about tonight. We're pumped about the service. At this moment, what we're going to do is just have you all just stand right now, say Merry Christmas to someone around them, and maybe learn our name. Go for it.
Come, thou long expected Jesus, born to set thy people free from our fears and sins releases. Let us find our rest in thee. Israel's strength and consolation, hope of all the earth thou art, dear desire of every nation, joy of every longing.
Come on, let's stand tonight.
Joy to those who long to see thee. Day springs from on high appear. Come, thou promised rod of Jesse, of thy birth we long to hear. O'er the hills the angels singing news, that tidings of a birth. Go to him, your praise is bringing. Christ the Lord has come to earth. Come to earth to taste our sadness. He whose glories knew no end. By his life he brings us backness. Our Redeemer, shepherd faith, leaving riches without number, born within a cattle song. This the everlasting wonder. Christ was born, the Lord of all. Born thy people to deliver, born a child and yet a king, born to reign in us forever. Now thy gracious kingdom bring. By thy own eternal Spirit, ruling all our hearts alone. By thy most sufficient merit, raise us to thy glorious throne.
Amen. Church, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for worshiping with us. Amen. You can give God glory. Amen. You guys go ahead and be seated. I want to welcome up Madison at this time.
Hello, everyone. Merry Christmas. I am so excited that you all are here tonight. My name's Madison, and I am the kids pastor here. And we wanted to do something special for all the kids in the room. So any of the kids here, like ages 12 and under, I'd like to invite you guys to come up here and take a seat on these blankets. may or may not have some candy for you guys too, if you want to make your way up. Come on up, yep, come on up. Yep, take a seat right down here. Perfect. All right, so come on up, yep. I'm going to go ahead and read you guys a Christmas story. And like I said, at the end, maybe you'll get some candy canes. So you can also follow along on the screen. We're going to have the story up there too, so you guys can all follow along. Okay, it's called The Shepherd's Story. All right. 'Twas the very first Christmas when all through the hills the towns of Judea were perfectly still. The sheep were all grazing with only one care, hoping the wolves would never be there. The Judeans were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sweet figs danced in their heads. I lay in the grass with my crook in my hand and settled my brain for a quick little nap. All alone with those sheep, night after night, I'd get sad when I just couldn't see any light. A shepherd is not what I thought it would be. I just couldn't see any future for me. When over the meadow there rose such a clatter, I sprang from the grass to see what was the matter. Next thing I knew, I saw a bright flash, so I bolted from there in 100-yard dash. When what to my wondering eyes should appear, a glorious angel saying, "Nothing to fear. Do not be afraid, I bring news of great joy. In the city of David, born is a boy. The Savior Messiah, our Lord, has been born. This day will forever be called Christmas morn." The angel said, "Go now, the sheep aren't in danger. Go find the babe sound asleep in a manger." More angels appeared, they sang as a choir. I felt underdressed in my dusty attire. I looked at my lambs, they weren't lively or quick. Their hooves were too tiny, their wool was too thick. I held up my crook, this wasn't a game. I whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now sheep 1, now sheep 2, now sheep 3 and sheep 4. Don't move from this hill or I'm gonna be sore. I need to go find this new baby somehow. I'll dash away, dash away, dash away now. I waved to my flock. Off to B-Town I hiked. After seeing that angel, I had to be psyched. After 6 miles of walking to reach Bethlehem, I wondered just how I could ever find them. And then in a stable beneath a thatched roof, I heard the light clacking of an old donkey's hoof. As I peered inside, what did I see? A mother and a child, and a dad smiled at me. I knew in that moment this child was the one. The life in that room was as bright as the sun. Baby's eyes, oh how they twinkled, his dimples how merry, though the beard on dear Joseph was a little too hairy. And Mary, dear Mary, she looked up and smiled. Life has no moment as the birth of a child. 2 things I must say took me quite by surprise: the quiet in the room and the joy in their eyes. What I felt on that morning, a vision so wild, the deep love both parents had for their child. Their faith gave them hope of what one child could bring, the song in that child no choir could sing. How blessed are we all that one child was born. How blessed are we all on this great Christmas morn to imagine the good that one child could do. If you've witnessed a birth, you've felt it too. Today we give thanks for the wonder of life, to the heart of a husband and the will of a wife. To family, sweet family, a most precious word. To the voice of a child that needs to be heard. To the hope that just one child could bring. To the melody nature continues to sing. I spoke not a word, but went straight on my way to share the good news that I saw on that day. As I walked back that night, I stared up at the stars and I thought about how truly blessed we all are. I got down on my knees to the wonder of life. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. The end. All right. So, you guys, my volunteers here have some candy canes. So if you want to grab your candy cane, and then you can take your seat back with your parents. And just want to let you guys know too that we have a nursery open. So any kiddos ages 5 and under, we have childcare for. So if you need that, you can just go right back through that door. We have awesome volunteers back there that would love to hang out with your kids. We also have a lobby and a cafe with TVs in there too. Oh, nice. And then lastly, I wanted to let you guys know that we have some kids events planned for the new year. So on January 15th, on a Sunday, we have a foam truck coming out. And if you guys haven't seen those, they're amazing. They like spray foam everywhere, and it's a free event. So mark your calendars, and I'd love to meet your kids that day. So enjoy this song.
The stars are brightly shining.
check out this bumper video.
The question that I have for you tonight is, what's so thrilling about hope? The question finds its root in a line from a popular Christmas song, one of my favorite songs, and one we just sang just a bit ago, "O Holy Night." You know that part, a thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, and yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. And no matter what version you hear, right? That's like, it's getting up to like the chorus, right? It's like, it's getting ready to peak, and you're just like, yeah, and you're hoping it's Mariah Carey. It's like, wow, go crazy, or something like that. But it's such a great song. Every version out there, I just love. And I love that line, a thrill of hope. I've always loved that French poem turned song, but I never really understood what was so thrilling about hope. I mean, for me, when I think of the word thrilling, I think of something adventurous. Something that just takes your breath away. You know, something like ziplining, okay? Ziplining would be like thrilling. If you've never done it before, you gotta do it. It's super cool, it's awesome. You go, Chris, come on, ziplining, that's no biggie. Okay, how about if you're like super amazing, thrilling definitely would be skydiving. Just jumping out of a plane with some of your closest friends, just falling down to your death or whatever, okay? That's cool, okay? So there's skydiving. That would definitely fit the list of something thrilling in my life. And I think about not only like zip lining and skydiving, I think about just watching thrilling things, like watching like a fast car. That is thrilling to me. Or even I love all the Fast and Furious movies. They're amazing. In fact, someone gave me a goal last year to watch all of them. I did, okay? So it was awesome, great goal. And I love all of those movies. I love fast cars, they're thrilling. I love fast planes, Top Gun 1 and 2. I love them all, they're great. Watching all those planes go by, it's so cool. It's very thrilling. And just watching people do crazy things like this guy, right? He's totally gonna die. This guy's dead, right? It's over. I mean, you're watching this guy, it's like, that's probably the last time we see that dude, okay? Because that's just thrilling. It's nuts. That, to me, is something that is thrilling. In my life, the closest thing I think about what connects to the word thrilling that I've done that's adventurous is just go on this roller coaster, all right? And for me, this was a big deal. I used to live in California, and I was about an hour and 45 minutes away, and we moved out here about 12 years ago, but we were an hour and 45 minutes away from Magic Mountain in Valencia. And Magic Mountain, it had all these crazy, crazy roller coasters, and this was one of them. We waited in a line for like 2 hours. I mean, you drive like 2 hours to get there, then you're waiting in line for 2 hours. It was horrible, okay? But my friends and I, we were so pumped. So pumped. Because this thing, what you do, this roller coaster, wasn't like any other one. You sit in the seat, and the track is usually beneath you, but on this one, it was like you were hanging off the side of the track. And that was cool in of itself, but when you're going up, you're real slow, all the way up. It's just like the anxiety, the excitement, all that's thrilling about this is all hitting you at this moment. Once you hit the top, all the seats turn, okay? And now you're hanging. You're not sitting anymore. You're hanging as if you're skydiving. And now you're like Supermaning the entire way through this thing. I remember going down, as it was dropping down, I lost all air. I was all, I couldn't even scream. There was no air to scream with. And by a minute in, I started breathing again. And then what I started doing was just, it surprised me. I mean, after the ride, spoiler alert, I survived it, okay? So after the ride, my friends were all teasing me, Chris, you were crying. I said, I wasn't crying. Chris, we heard you crying. You were crying and the entire time. I said, I wasn't crying. What I was doing, I was laughing. It was the most unusual response. I've never had that response before. I was so just caught off guard by the whole experience. I was laughing the entire way. And it was a freedom that came from knowing two things. And these two things are crucial. Number one, that there was nothing I could do to control the outcome of that experience. And number two, I knew I wasn't alone. That all my Fulio friends, if I died, they're dying with me, okay? So that's over. But those two things were crucial. Knowing that no matter what I did, I couldn't control the outcome, and also knowing that no matter what, I wasn't alone. Those were two important ingredients. It was weird, but it was welcomed too. You see, all these things are thrilling to me. And this experience I experienced on this roller coaster was thrilling to me. But hope, come on. Hope isn't thrilling. Hope is it just seems like cute, sweet, kind of a beach setting. It's nice. It's kind of it's something you put on, you find it on a Hobby Lobby portrait. You put it above your kitchen somewhere, on the wall somewhere, and you get inspired by it. It's like, oh, hope. But it's not thrilling. Where did that come from? The idea of it. I just don't know about hope being thrilling at all. At least I didn't know. I didn't know until I experienced my own roller coaster seasons in my own life. I'll check back later on about that and share a little bit of that with you. But for you, let's come back to you right now. What's so thrilling about hope? Obviously, it's thrilling enough to make its way into a poem/Christmas song. That's super cute, super powerful, and I just love it. It's great. But what's so thrilling about hope? Obviously, hope must be more thrilling than what we make it out to be. It's got to be more than just some sweet, comfy feeling. It's got to be more than just some warm, fuzzy beach scene, right? Henry Nouwen, a favorite author of mine, he wrote this. I'm going to show you this quote. He has a different perspective on hope that surprises me. And it might surprise you. I'm gonna tell you right now, before I show you this quote, it is not warm, it is not fuzzy. He says this: hope prevents us from clinging to what we have and frees us to move away from the safe place and enter unknown and fearful territory. Interesting. Now, when I read this, hope begins to sound a lot more like a roller coaster, more like what I experience on my roller coaster. See, no control, yet freeing at the same time. Nothing about it is safe. Nothing about it is familiar. Have you ever thought of hope this way, friend? Have you ever? And maybe you have, and it's the reason why you don't do it anymore. Because it's too dangerous. The idea of hope is just dangerous. You've learned how to just bury it. Because if you let yourself hope like you have in the past, it is so scary, right? You become so vulnerable. You are letting go of that safe place that you call safe, but really it's just familiar. You've gotten used to telling yourself that the best is way behind you. You've told yourself that for years, and it's easier to live in that safe place than let go of it and move into something unfamiliar. Dangerous. That's what hope is. You tried it before, it let you down. It has let you down. people that you put it in has let you down. You've tried it before. You've tried putting your hope in that health report. You've tried putting your hope in that bank account, in that job. And each and every time it has let you down. Yeah, hope is dangerous, all right. And you've trained yourself unknowingly to stay far from it. But yet it's calling you tonight from an unexpected place. Like it called the wise men almost 2,000 years ago. The star the wise men had seen in the east went on ahead of them, and it stopped over the place where the child was. The child. They were thrilled and excited to see the star. When the wise men went into the house and saw the child with Mary, his mother, they knelt down and worshiped him. What? I mean, those of you that have read this kind of Christmas verse before, you're like, yeah, this is part of it. I've seen the pageant. It's amazing. It's great. You know, it's a good little child's play, and the wise men come out, they kneel down, blah, blah, blah. But if you read it for the first time and you look at this and go, what would 3, 4, 5, however many wise men there were, what would these grown men be doing by kneeling down and worshiping a child? What would ever possess them to do something like that? The thrill of hope would. The thrill of hope would. Something happened in that moment. Something happened in that experience. These wise men experienced a thrill of hope that started with the light in the sky and that led them to a baby in a manger. And when they had realized that this thrill of hope was connected to Jesus, they knelt down and worshiped him, almost as if their souls were saying, finally, something so dangerous that it keeps the dire away while keeping me connected to the divine. These wise men had enough wisdom to figure this out, to figure out that what makes hope so thrilling is when it's connected to Jesus. Tonight, I want to encourage you to hope again. I want to encourage you to get a little dangerous tonight and to experience a whole lot of thrill. But I'm not going to encourage you to find any of this, to try to put your hope in the old things. Don't find your hope in the things that have failed you. And you go, Chris, I've tried this God thing. I'm going to push back. Maybe you've tried the religious thing. And if you've been around here, you've heard me say it, I think religion sucks. It sucks the life right out of people. But a relationship with Jesus gives life. Oh, friend, maybe you've tried it before and it has failed you, because religion will, but a relationship with Jesus will never. Never. I'm going to encourage you to find your thrill of hope in Jesus this Christmas. And I plan to do so by giving you a bit more of a definition as to what a thrill of hope looks like in Jesus, so you'll be able better to find it tonight. So let's dive in. See, the thrill of hope is the remedy for a weary soul. The remedy for a weary soul. I'll say it right now. If you are a parent of children right now, anywhere between the ages of 0 to 18, oh, I'm telling you, you are a weary soul. Yeah, that's what it looks like. You're so exhausted. You give everything to these little ones, right? You're just like, I love them so much, but really, like religion, they suck the life out of you, okay? They do, all right? And you need Jesus to really fill you back up in order to love them because of how much life they're sucking from you. But they are so worth it and so cute, dang it. And I'm telling you, if you're a parent, you are always gonna be weary. Get used to it. But the Bible says this, and I like this. It says, young people will become tired and weary. That's good to know. It's not just us old ones. Young men and young women will certainly stumble. For those who hope in the Lord, and get this, but those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will walk and not be weary. It's encouraging to me. I like how it says here, those who hope in the Lord, who put their hope in the Lord. They will be renewed, which is also encouraging, that word, because renewing makes me think about there are times where you are feeling zapped. There's times you're feeling zapped. And sometimes what we tell ourselves is like to be a really good godly person or Christian person, that you're never tired and never weary. That's lame. Oh, you're gonna get weary all the time. It's part of being human. Welcome to planet Earth. It's tough. It's tough. So you will get weary, but this hope in the Lord will keep filling up your hope tank. If it's depleted, it's gonna get back up, because when you put your hope in the Lord, not in your job, not in your health, not in your relationship, but in Jesus, those who do these things will not be weary, not be weary for long. If your life was a pathway, okay? Let's just say you get up every day and you're just trying to walk the path, you're trying to get through life, and things hit you all the time. Again, welcome to planet Earth. And I don't know how bad your life is, but maybe right now it looks like this. You're like, yeah, Chris, this is my life, okay? If this is your life, I wanna say honestly and sincerely, I am so sorry. Because if I was walking down this road right now in your life, I'd be like, I don't wanna go down that road. I wanna go somewhere different. That looks like doomsday stuff, right? Someone's gonna get out and jump out and just grab me and pull me out into the woods. I don't wanna go down that. And you go, Chris, this is how I feel though. This is my life right now. It's just dark. There's so much just darkness. I mean, it's not, Chris, you don't understand. It's just nonstop. This is my life. If it's your life, hear me. Do not let this make you feel like a bad person. Do not let this make you feel like you're not a good Christian. Do not let this make you feel anything less of value than you actually are, because all this is reminding you of and me of is that you're human. You're gonna have dark seasons. Jerome Grootman, he's a doctor at Harvard Medical School. He's also a professor there too. And what he does is he just works with patients on a regular basis who are living life like this, who have been given just incredible, this horrible diagnosis of diseases. They're so serious. And he sees the look on their faces on a continual, like just in a weekly way, daily way. And he started thinking about hope for his patients. And he says this, he says, they're looking for a sense of genuine hope. And indeed, the hope was an important thing to them. It was more important than any medicine I could ever prescribe them. And then he wrote this book called The Anatomy of Hope. And it's not a Christian book, it's just a book, but it's from a professional who deals with this type of pathway for people that are on all the time. And in the book, he talks about how he was asked to define hope. And I love definitions of hope. I believe ultimately the definition of hope is found in Jesus. But give me some definitions to get my head wrapped around it. He says this. Basically, I think hope is the ability to see a path to the future. You're facing dire circumstances, and then you see a path to get to where you want to be. Once you see that path, there's a tremendous emotional uplift that occurs. I like that. I like that idea of hope being this ability to see a path to the future. And what I see him saying is like, really what hope is, it looks like this. In the midst of your darkness, you come out of that dark season, you're in the midst, you're struggling to just get through all of the dire circumstances, and you see this, you're like, yes, the light at the end of the tunnel. And you're just hoping it's not a train coming this way towards you in the tunnel, You're hoping it's a way out. And this is what hope is. But you might go, Chris, okay, that pathway idea, that's all cute and fun, and I wish I had that. I don't even know what that looks like. I mean, I would love to get on a path that looks like that in my life, because my life is so overwhelmingly, right, just dark right now. I would love to get on a path like that. Tell me how to do that. What am I gonna do? And this is so great that Jesus does this for us. He's like, you want a path? You want a path? He says, how about me? I'm a path. I'm the path. I am the way. I am the truth. I am the life that you're looking for. Oh, you try to dive into finding truth every day, don't you? You turn into it. You watch that channel. You listen to that radio dial. You're tuning into that podcast. You're trying to find it all day long. Some sort of just knowledge to help you get your head around this crappy world that we live in at times. And you're trying to understand how to get through it. And Jesus, stop it. Okay? Don't go there first. Go to those places second, a distant second after you go to me. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna show you what the way looks like. I'm gonna help you see it and experience it. Friends, I'm telling you, this Jesus, what drives me nuts, I get it. If you've tried the religious thing and you're like, this is just, it's so lame, let me down, I'm gonna respectfully push back for a moment here, okay? And say this, but have you read about Jesus? You know, Chris, well, I haven't read a lot. I've read some of the Bible in there. I'm gonna tell you right now, guys, you do not need to read the entire Bible to understand who Jesus is. Chris, you can't say that. I just did, okay? I'm gonna say this also. You can just go ahead and skip all of this and go right to the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John and read about Jesus, and you'll understand enough about hope just from Jesus, and you need to skip all of this. Chris, you can't say that. I just did. I'm not saying this is worthless. This is all so wonderful and golden, but this can be intimidating, can it? I'm telling you, if you read about Jesus, you'd be like, give me some Jesus. He's so much better than what you think or what the world tries to throw at you. I'm telling you, he doesn't hate people. He doesn't judge people. He doesn't put people down and call them idiots. He doesn't draw lines in the sand and say, you're either on my side or not. He doesn't do that. He just goes to your side. He just goes to you. This Jesus, I believe, in my life, I've seen him be the way, the truth, and the life. I'm telling you, the thrill of hope is the remedy for a weary soul. And if you are weary, the thrill of hope is what you need, found only in Jesus. Number 2. See, this thrill of hope is the reason why we rock and roll. And by rock and roll, I think about celebrate. It's the reason why we celebrate on Christmas. You know, it's so funny, friends of mine who are not followers of Jesus, and they look at Christmas, and they go, you Christians are so weird, all your Christmas music, and they think about Jingle Bells and Frosty the Snowman. They call that Christmas music, and I'm like, oh, that's not Christmas music. That's just good old-fashioned snowman music. Yeah, I love it, all right? That's good reindeer music. I love it. It's not Christmas music. It's not. Jesus, I mean, that song, Oh Holy Night, that's Christmas music. It's about Jesus. It's about us celebrating, again, this rock and roll about what he's done. I'm so thankful, again, for Daniel and Michael and how they just amazingly shredded those guitars. It was so good. That was a great opening. It was a great celebration to this day. See, I love how it says this. You go, Chris, well, why do we even celebrate? Here's the best way of why I can show you. It says this in the book of Matthew. All this took place to fulfill what the Lord has said through the prophet. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel, which means God with us. This is the reason why we celebrate. And you go, Chris, the word Emmanuel, again, I always say this every year, it's not the Spanish nickname for Jesus, okay? You know what this is? It is the name that is meant to sum up the reason why we celebrate. God with us. Jesus is God with us. You make it hung up on the theology of the virgin birth. Oh, Chris, you really believe in that? That some woman just got kind of pregnant all of a sudden. Like, what did God do? That's just weird. I don't get it. Here's a real simple way. I believe it's God should made her pregnant. Done. You go, Chris, that's crazy. Well, he can do that, okay? If he can raise himself from the dead, he can make that happen anytime, okay? And here's why, though. Chris, I don't get the reason why. Here's why. Listen, Jesus was not born on Christmas Day. What? I'm telling you right now. Chris, guys, listen. Chris, you can't say that. I just did. He was not born on Christmas Day. Jesus, and I know how it is. We talk about God the Father, right? Jesus, the God the Son. We have the Holy Spirit, God the Spirit. In our linear Western thinking, we categorize it, God the Father, God the Son, God the Spirit, and we try to call this the Trinity. And we go, yeah, there's the 3 in 1, and we think we sound so smart we say that. But this categorization, stop it. And try an Eastern perspective where it's more cyclical, circular, overlapping. God the Father is not just creator. God the Son is not just Savior. God the Spirit is not just helper. Stop it. That is elementary Western church thinking. He's bigger than that. Our Jesus does not fit in a category or a box. He doesn't. Jesus is also creator. Chris, prove it, Colossians 1. He creates. He is the creator, the one that was at the very beginning. And maybe you're hung up on Jesus for so long trying to believe that some dude was God. Friends, he wasn't born on January or December 25th, 2,000 years ago. He's always been. He became his creation. The Creator became his creation in order to do something for us that we couldn't do for ourselves and show us something that we could never see very clearly. Think about how many people screw up the idea of God. And God goes, at the right time, I'm gonna set the matter straight. I'm gonna show you my heart. So the Creator becomes his creation. You see, this God with us, which is so great, he's clarifying, he's pushing back theologies in the room and online who are watching right now. He's saying, listen, I'm not God against you. I'm not God pointing my finger at you. I'm not God saying you're such a screw up. Why don't you go turn your life around? I'm not the God that you call like that vision of your grandma, your grandpa, your dad, your mom. I'm not that God. I am the God who is with you, not against you. Friends, this is who Jesus is. And not just for all the good people in the world, he's this way for every person in the world. No matter what color your skin, no matter what country you're from, no matter what creed you believe in, no matter whether you're a Christian, North American or not, Jesus made you, he loves you, and he's with you. That's why we celebrate. I mean, really the best story I can think of, it's so funny. Of all the stories I can tell to make this kind of sink in, it's this story about a stinking cat. So this is the story very quickly. Imagine just a regular schmo dad, married, got some kids, living in a cold part of the United States, and living maybe a block away from a church. And every Christmas, the wife goes, "We're going to church," and the kids go, "Let's go," and the dad goes, "I'm not going. Not my thing. Peace out." That might have been you today too. Like, I don't really want to go. They just dragged me here. You know, I get that and I respect that. I'm glad you're here. I believe you're here for a purpose. So the cat story is this, that they end up opening the door, the wife and the kids, and the snow comes in, and the dad just kind of closes it. Bye, have fun. Boom, closes it, gets back to his warm chair, and as he sits down, all of a sudden he hears, he's like, "What is that?" What is that? Goes over to his front window, and it's a dang cat, just tapping. And it's cold outside. I mean, it is snowing. It's the wind's blowing. It's not where you want to be. And he's like, "Stop it, cat." He finds himself yelling at the cat, "Hey, cat, stop it! Go, get out of here! Get out of here!" And the cat's like, so then he goes to the door, and he's like, "Cat, stop it!" And the cat's like, and he goes, "You know what?" He closes the door. He's like, I'm gonna go get the cat. Put it in the garage or something, right? Goes out to get the cat, and the cat, he's like, "Come here, kitty, come here, you dumb cat." And the cat's like, and it just goes crazy. It's like clawing at him and stuff. And he's like, "Whatever." And he goes back into the house, and he's like, "This dang cat." And it's been half an hour by now, dealing with this dang cat who doesn't get it, who's trying to just claw at him. And then he has this thought, I know. He thinks to himself, great idea. If I could just become a cat, okay? Then I could go outside, talk to the cat, and just go, meow, 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 meow. I mean, that would solve the problem. The cat then would come inside and find safety, find warmth, and survive. When he has that thought, all of a sudden, the church bells just a block away ring, and it hits him. Oh, crap. That's what this whole Jesus thing is about, he says. It finally hit him. This is what it's about. It's God becoming a cat. Not really, but you know what I mean. It's him becoming his creation in order to speak human to us, to say, this is who I am, this is how I love. Stop wrapping me into all your weird parental versions of me and understand I am not against you, I am with you. Friend, the thrill of hope is the reason why we rock and roll. The thrill of hope, of understanding he's not against us, he's with us. He's not hating you, he's loving you. And finally, this last little piece of the picture, what it looks like to really find the thrill of hope again if you've lost it. The thrill of hope is the result of a life made whole. It's the result of a life made whole. And this idea of a life made whole, what does that look like? Because let's just face it, all of us in the room and online, we're all broken. I'm broken, you're broken, we have bad days, we have good days. And I really believe all of our stuff we've been through in our past impacts us even today. Tragedy, hurt, trauma, relationships. The thrill of hope is the result of a life made whole. In my life, I've not experienced where I gain hope and then I get Jesus. It's the other way around. It's Jesus really healing what's going on in here and then leading me to a thrill of hope, to understand what that looks like because of what he's been doing in my life and repairing all the stuff here. Jesus sums it up, the whole life and what it looks like. He uses this word abundant. See, the thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy, Jesus says. I came that you may have life and have it abundantly. We don't use that word abundantly very much. We don't walk in with groceries and someone says, what do you got there? I got an abundance full of stuff here, you know? It's an abundant bag. We don't do that. Abundant. It's a reminder of how our English language is so lacking sometimes. What does it mean? See, Jesus is saying, listen, you think I'm here to take something from you. I'm not gonna take something from you. If I'm gonna do anything of taking, I'm gonna be taking this trauma, this tragedy, this hurt. I'm gonna help you see that I'm bigger than all of it. See, he's not here to take something from you. He's here to give you something, give you abundant life. And what's abundant life? Well, it looks like this. This guy. This guy's name is Sacha Jaffrey. In 2020, he painted this. He calls it The Journey of Humanity. It's the world's largest painting at 17,000 square feet, the size of 2 football fields. It was even certified by the Guinness Book of World Records. Now, it took him 6 months to paint it. It has 300 layers of paint. It is the largest piece of art on canvas to ever be created, ever. And it later on sold for $62 million. So someone loved it out there, okay? Someone loved it. Even if you go, I don't know, Chris, that's art. Yeah. This is what abundant life looks like. The painting on canvas is beautiful. It's a beautiful visual of what abundant life looks like. It's so full of color, every color. Some colors you like, some you don't. And here's the thing about abundant life. It's full of both the good and the bad. Some stuff you like and some stuff you don't like. What makes abundant life abundant isn't that it's connected to good all the time. What makes life abundant is that it's connected to God all the time. The connection is the key. The connection is the key to a life being abundant. And you and I, we often just sever that connection. Or we allow the circumstances in our life to sever that connection. And we go down a dark path. That's what it was like for me. 2020 was rough for everybody. 2021 was the epitome of suck for me. 2021 was rough. It was me dealing with all of what happened in our culture, and even with me personally in my life. After helping people for so many years, and I've been here for 12 years, and there are people that just left, gone. Never saw them again. People that I helped marry or bury their loved ones, and they left without even giving an email or a text message, just gone. I was just crushed. The idea of all this ministry stuff was just worthless to me. I just said, why? Why do it? I don't want to do it anymore. I started really hating it. I got into a low place in my close friends and my family. And thank God, during that time, my family and I were close still. My wife and I doing great, kids. But professionally and just how I saw life, I just didn't want to do it anymore. Started going to therapy and talking to spiritual directors too, and getting some advice on what to do and how to walk through it. And what happened for me is that I had severed the connection. I did. I allowed the circumstances in my life to lead me to a point of going, forget it. I'm not putting my hope in people anymore. I'm not putting my hope in anyone anymore. And I even started getting mad at God. And I was like, what the heck, God? Why is this happening? What's the point? It took people coming into my life and loving me through that. It took people listening to me, giving me the time of day. It was a hard position to put myself in because usually I'm the guy listening to people who are hurting. And I was hurting. Thank God. These people showed me. They showed me what a life made whole looks like in their own lives. They showed me in the midst of the stuff they were walking through, their own dark paths, how they were still able to say that even though my life is not great, my God is still good. And I started understanding what that means for me. I started to embrace that. I mean, I felt like I was on a roller coaster again. I felt like it was just so like I couldn't control anything anymore. And after all of 2020 and 2021, I was trying to control things for so long, and I just let go. I can't control anymore. And I accepted the two things that I realized in that roller coaster. I can't control the outcome no matter what I do. And I also realized that no matter what I do, I'll never be alone because of Christmas, because of the truth that God is with us. I thought about how to wrap this up with you and show you the story. You know, it's one of my favorite stories, and it's not a story in the Bible, okay, so just bear with me here, but it's got some truth. This guy dies, and he's up in heaven, and he gets meted by Peter. Peter's the guy in the Bible, a friend of Jesus, and he gets the tour of heaven, and Peter takes him right to Jesus, of course, and it's amazing. Wow, it's awesome. He spends all his time there, and then eventually he's like, yeah, let's see the rest of it, right? Let's go around and check heaven out. He's like, okay. The guy's all excited, and Peter's like, hey, we're gonna go over here, we're gonna go over here. And then eventually he makes his way to this room, about the size of this church here in this room. And he goes, he kind of walks him in, and goes, what's in here? He's like, I wanna show you something. It's something really beautiful. All right. And he shows him, he turns the lights on in the room, and he sees like this canvas, which is covered by a little drape. And the guy's like, what's that? He's like, well, let's go open it. Let's go check it out, And the guy goes over and he removes the little cloth, the little drape, and he checks it out. He's like, oh, what? This is gorgeous. And what it is just this beautiful pencil sketch of just pure beauty art. It's gorgeous. The shading, the lines, and Peter goes, well, look at it some more, and the guys go, oh, this is my life. He's like, yeah, look at it. He's like, oh my gosh, this is my whole life. His whole life. Pencil sketched, beautiful. And Peter let it sink in. I think I had it sink for the guy, and the guy just like, this is great. Thank you so much for showing me this. And it's so beautiful. He's remembering different times, hard times, good times, and man, this is great. Thank you so much. Wow. And let's wrap it up and walk out. And then the guy, he turns around and sees a door. He's like, hey, what's over there? Don't worry about that. We'll come back. No, I want to go over here. No, that's something else. We'll do that later. No, I want to. The guy makes a beeline right for the door and opens it up. And Peter's like, wait! Opens the door up, and you can tell by how the door opens up, and it makes a sound like, it's a big room. It's like echoing. I mean, it's a big room, and it's dark. No lights on, and he fumbles around, and Peter's like, come on, no, you're not ready for that yet. No. And he fumbles around, finds the light switch, and it's like, like State Farm Stadium, huge. And at the end of this ginormous stadium of a room, there's another canvas, a big one. It's huge. And it's covered by a big drape. He goes, what's that? And Peter's like, dude, you're not ready for that yet, man. Not now. Let's just take this and move on, and we'll come back to this later. I want to see this. I'm telling you, no. I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And he makes a beeline right over to it, and he just, gracefully pulls off the drape, and the whole thing comes crashing down on the ground. It's so just large, and he stands back and looks at it and goes, it's just breathtaking. It's full color, just gorgeous. It's so beautiful. The guy just starts crying and laughing and just all at the same time, he's overwhelmed with emotion. And Peter's, oh, you like it? He's like, yeah, why would you want me to see this? And he's like, yeah, I'll wait for it. And he goes, what do you mean? He starts looking at it. Wait, it looks kind of familiar. There I am. There's my friends, my family. I don't remember this. I don't know this person. I didn't go here. Oh, I never experienced that. Now that would have been awesome. I've never been that low before. What is this? And Peter goes, this is what your life would have looked like if you would have put your hope in Jesus every day. And Peter continues, and he just goes, I know. You think, well, how is that possible? I know. You have your bad days and your good days, right? But you see on this canvas, there's bad and good, but still full of color. How is that possible? He says it's because of the connection with Christ. Friend, you and I can have this. It can be this beautiful, no matter how low it is right now in your life. Because again, abundant life is not defined by how good your life is all the time. It's defined by how much you allow God to be in your life all the time. So what's so thrilling about hope? Remember, if you want the clues, here they are. The thrill of hope is the remedy for a weary soul. It's the reason we rock and roll. It's the result of a life made whole. And what makes hope so thrilling is when it's connected to Jesus. And I believe what should come out of our hearts and what our souls are longing to say in times like this, and really, I think every day, when we're just feeling disconnected, is just a simple phrase of just give me Jesus. Just give me Jesus. That's what I need. Friend, I'm gonna invite you to do something dangerous right now. I told you, a thrill of hope, it's dangerous. I'm gonna invite you to let go of a safe place and consider something new. I'm gonna invite you to connect to Jesus right now in a very simple but yet powerful way. Would you mind please just closing your eyes and bowing your heads with me? This is not a scene change. Don't worry, there's nothing happening on the stage you gotta worry about. This is the chance for you to not be distracted. Can we bring down the lights a little bit too? Friends, with your eyes closed and your heads bowed, I'd like you to process this moment right now of saying, just Jesus come into my life. In fact, what I'm gonna lead you through, and this is for anyone in the room that is wanting to say yes to Jesus for the very first time. For the very first time. I'm gonna ask you to do something. Don't worry, I'm not gonna have you stand, but I'm gonna have you raise your hand in just a moment. If you want Jesus for the very first time, you've been on the fence, would you pray this prayer? And you don't need to pray it out loud, just pray it quietly. Dear Jesus, I believe that you're God and I'm not. Dear Jesus, I need a thrill of hope right now. Dear Jesus, I need you to be with me, and I believe that you are. Please forgive me for doing it my own way. I come to you right now and believe that you are God, that you always have been and always will be. Dear Jesus, come into my life, occupy and heal my soul. Dear Jesus, I need your thrill of hope today. It's in your name that I pray. With your eyes closed and your head still bowed down, would you please raise your hand if you just prayed that prayer? Awesome. That's so great. Keep it up for a little bit. That's great. I see it. Good. I'm scanning the room. Great. Thank you. That's awesome. That's amazing. That's awesome. You can put your hands down now. That's so great. You did something dangerous, friend. And keep your eyes closed still and your heads down. You did something dangerous by saying, Jesus, come into my life. And for those that raised their hand, and I saw a bunch, thank God. And for everyone else in the room, can we give all these people a round of applause for the dangerous thing they just did? Still, with your eyes closed and heads down, I want to ask one more question. Just one more. For those of you that have followed Jesus for a while, but you have become disconnected by your circumstances or by how you've allowed your circumstances to impact you. For those of you that feel disconnected with Jesus, but you want to take the next step with him, then please repeat after me, and everyone's heads down, eyes closed, just out of privacy for people who are making this call. Just repeat after me, quietly to yourself. Dear Jesus, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for trying to do it on my own. Please forgive me for holding on to my familiar habits. Please forgive me for pushing away hope. Please forgive me for trying to be God in my life right now. And Jesus, I ask that you would please help me to let it go and to embrace you again. Jesus, help me to embrace hope again. I want to take the next step with you and find that abundant life with you again right now. Jesus, please help me. In your name we pray. For those of you that just prayed that prayer, with eyes closed, heads down, would you please raise your hand if you prayed that prayer right now? That's fantastic. That's great. I see that. It's fantastic. That's amazing. Great. Thank you for that. I mean that. It took a whole lot of counseling and therapy for me to come to that point. Friend, I want you to know something. For those in the room, you can put your hands down. For those of you in the room that have prayed those prayers, I truly believe that you have Jesus now. You don't need to sign a dotted line. We don't need to get the legal documents out. We aren't going to check your W-2 forms. Friends, Jesus is with you because of what he's done, not because of what anything you and I have done or haven't done. And all you simply have done is just say, come, be in my life. And friend, he's there now. You are a Christ follower right now. And I'm proud of you. Here's something I want to put on the screen right now, and you can look at this right now if you have a chance. You can get your phones out for this too if you like, but this next slide, what it is, it really shows, it's a chance for us to help you with your decision. And we thought about the creative ways to do this, and we have Connect cards in the chair backs in front of you. You could fill it out and drop it in the box on the way out, or you could actually take a snapshot of this picture with your phone, or try it. You text this number and get with your phone, and you text the word 1 or the word 2 or the word 3. And the word 1 is I want Jesus, or I want to get baptized is 2, or 3 is I want the next steps. I want to get in community. I want to start serving and volunteering. Whatever the next steps are for you. But here's the thing. I don't want you to go out here and just feel good. I want you to leave knowing that you are really taking the next step. And what we're here to do at Lincoln Heights is to help you do that. And what'll happen is I'm gonna give you a call. It'll be me. So you'll know it's not some rando. It'll be me. I'll call you, okay? And I'll help you with the next steps. If you wanna get baptized on January 8th, we'll make that happen. If you wanna understand more about how to accept Christ, I'll help you with that. If you wanna get connected around here in community with people and stop living so disconnected, I'll help you with that. That's what we're here to do. So take advantage of it. Or use the card. But no matter what, keep leaning into that phrase, just give me Jesus. So would you please stand with me right now? We have this song that we picked for this moment, just where we've seen those words, give me Jesus. And if you need any prayer right now, in the corners by the Christmas trees, I have friends that'll pray with you. If you're going through a rough time, if your path is dark, why not get prayer right now? Don't put it off anymore. If you want more about Jesus right now, I'll be under that sign. It says, I want Jesus. I'll stand there right now. I'll encourage you. I'll answer any questions you might have just to help you. But lean into him right now. Don't miss this moment as we sing, Give Me Jesus.
Emotion. I believe it's the Holy Spirit that's calling you. So if you're feeling that tug right now, if you're right on the verge of accepting Jesus, I just want to encourage you to do so tonight. We have prayer partners in the corners of this room, and Pastor Chris is also standing by the I Want Jesus sign right now, just waiting to pray with you. But don't miss your opportunity, church. Don't miss your opportunity to spend some time with Jesus, the Jesus that loves you so much. The rest of us, let's sing this out.
Give
God, we love you and we thank you for how good you are. And I pray that just a blessing on my friends, that you would just remind them that, God, you are that source of where a thrill of hope comes from. Help them experience that connection with you tonight. That they would understand that there's two important things to know, that just we have no way of controlling the circumstances or the outcome. But then number two, we can always know that we're never alone because of you, what you showed us on Christmas. In your name we pray. Amen. Let me grab a seat. Hey, we're going to wrap up in just a moment and get you out of here, but I want you to know about something real quick. There's a few things. And number one, I want to say thank you for coming out. I know it's a busy season, and as you leave today, there's a gift that we have for you. Everyone's getting a gift. It's this book, and it's actually, Chris, I don't know about book. I want you to try to read it, okay? Just read this book, and it's called When You, Then God. It's written by a friend of mine, and it's going to be what we are going to be diving into on January 8th, our first Sunday back. And I want to challenge you to read the first chapter. Read a chapter, maybe two. We have enough for one for everybody as you leave tonight. They're free. Don't worry about trying to drop any money. It's just free. So just take it, enjoy it, and maybe read a chapter and start something new this year, this new year coming around the corner. And then number two, on January 8th, we also have what we call Baptism Sunday. It's going to be a regular church service, but we're going to roll the holy hot tub out, and we're going to baptize people who make that decision. The baptistry it really actually is nice and warm. It's almost a little jacuzzi, but it's super amazing. And what baptism is, it's an outward expression of an inward decision to follow Jesus. It's you, that visual of dying to yourself and raising up again to say, I'm not God, but you're God. And this is what he did. He died on that cross, was buried, and rose on the third day to prove he is who he says he is, not just some nice dude. So if you want to get baptized, it can happen on January 8th. It's coming soon. Next, Christmas Day service. I know every once in a while, every few years, every 6 or 7 years, Christmas lands on a Sunday. Bum, bum, bum. What do? Some churches go, we're done, break, whatever. We're not breaking tomorrow. We're gonna be here. We're gonna consolidate our services into one service, though. Usually we're 9 and 10:30. We're gonna have 10:30 a.m. only. Thank you, Jesus, right? Okay, so you're sleeping a little bit. But here's the thing. We're doing something special, very special. Something that will only happen once every 6 or 7 years, okay? It's gonna be special. I don't want you to miss this. We want you to RSVP. RSVP. You don't need an RSVP to come. You can come in just as you are. But if you want to be part of the thing we're doing, which is special, RSVP. How do I do that? Go to our website. Go to LincolnHeights.church. On the front, on the home screen, click on this graphic. It'll lead you to a way to RSVP and get connected. Make sure you RSVP all of your family who's coming with you. It's going to be that special. I don't want you to miss it. Tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Next one after that, on January 1st, we are going to be doing church from home. So if you show up here on January 1st, we're not going to be here. We're going to be at home, and we're going to be in church from home. And there's going to be a broadcast of what's happening with our services at 9 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. If you want to be part of that broadcast, all you do is go to our website, go to the homepage. It says Watch Live at the top. Click on that, and we're going to just worship from our homes in our PJs and have a great time and really enjoy that January 1st holiday with family and friends. And we'll be together online for those 2 hours. And finally, I want you to know about the double the hope. And what this is every week, every month, we give 10% away to what is given here. So we have these people called Compassion Partners, and they're kind of missionaries. We have 3 local and 3 global. They consist of people like the orphanage we support in Mexico. There's also an incredible kids ministry that's a community ministry in Kenya that we support as well. And we also have the Phoenix Rescue Mission downtown that we support. We give 10% away every week to people outside this place. That's what we do. We do that because God models generosity. We want to model it too. But from now till the end of the month, we're doubling it, 20%. So if you're looking for a time to give, now's the time. You can give safely and securely by dropping your whatnots in the giving box on the way out, or online at LincolnHeights.church, through our website or through our app, and know that you'll be doubling the hope between now and December 31st at 11:59 p.m. Now, what I want you to do right now, if you're on a side row, please look at the little cans next to you. There's some candles. We're going to end with a little candlelight moment. Pass those candles out down the whole aisle. Don't turn them on yet. Just pass them down, but don't turn them on. And we're going to do something that the angels were doing 2,000 years ago. We're going to go out of this service singing just these Christmas carols, which please stand with me. And we're going to go ahead and hold these candles and wait.
You're holding candles, okay. Let's sing out, come on. joy that we have, amen. So church, this is our moment. This is what we do here at Lincoln Heights. We're gonna go ahead and turn on these candles now. And as you're doing that, and as we're thinking about this thrill of hope, Pastor Chris brought an amazing message tonight. Let's do this. Whoever you came in with tonight, whether that's your family or your friends, stand a little bit closer to them tonight. Pull them in a little bit closer. And if you see someone standing by themselves, pull them in as well. Pull them in as well. We get to sing this song as a community and as a church, and we get to really have a deeper understanding of what happened on that silent night, that hope came in the form of this baby. And so we're gonna sing this song together right now. Join us as we sing, church.